Do you want to improve your physical well-being? I'm guessing you do because you clicked on this video. We're going to talk about your winter arc, locking in, learning discipline, and really changing your entire physical well-being for the better within 90 days. So much can change in 90 days. That's around 3 months. It seems like a short amount of time, but 3 months is all it takes for you to build habits that you can use for the rest of the year, for the next decade, and for the rest of your life. If you really lock in and commit to these habits, this time next year, you can look back and say, I've completely changed. I'm a completely different person. So in this 90-day plan, we're going to attack your well-being from all angles. We're going to talk about sleep, exercise, eating better, quitting alcohol, digital detoxing. This is what we call holistic well-being. It's not just changing one thing, not just two things. It's changing your whole physical well-being. It's looking at your body and your mind as a whole. And this is so you can change your lifestyle from an average kind of approach to a really healthy, positive lifestyle. So stop putting off making better choices. If you're the kind of person who can't make good habits stick, if you try a few things, go through different phases and nothing really stays in place for you. Maybe you go on binges and you go off the rails with your diet, you go to the gym one week and then the next week you don't really feel like it. Make a change this year. Do it for your future self, because health is not guaranteed, which is why you have to look after it. For me, my goal is to do all the things that I love now, hiking, running, resistance training, when I'm 60, 70 years old. So I'm investing in myself now. Quick disclaimer, this guide is not a replacement for a doctor. If you have any other health conditions, please do speak to your GP before making any other lifestyle changes. So change number 1 is water. Drink 2 litres of water every single day. You've probably heard it before, our bodies are mostly water, but we lose a lot of it throughout our day, so we need to replace our levels. But why? What is the benefit of that? Water gives you improved energy levels, it gives you clearer skin, better digestion, and it may help improve your chances of weight loss if that is what you're aiming for. So water really is a good all-round addition to a healthy lifestyle. So how does it do all these things? Basically, like in terms of energy, it hydrates your cells to stop your muscles fatiguing. It also carries nutrients from your food around the body to your cells. And it also helps your heart pump blood more efficiently. How does it clear your skin? So it helps regulate oil production to help prevent acne. It flushes out toxins that can contribute to skin issues. So we have toxins in the air around us, from the food we eat, from touching surfaces and then touching our skin. Water helps flush all of these toxins out through your organs like your kidneys. And hydration also benefits the immune system, which reduces inflammation. So acne is basically inflammation in your skin, and inflammation is an immune reaction. So help your immune system out and drink 2 litres of water at least per day. It should be said that water cannot cure most cases of acne, especially cystic acne, and it's not a replacement for prescribed acne treatments. So water is not a cure-all for your skin, but it can be really, really beneficial, and you definitely shouldn't knock it, especially if you do have acne. In terms of digestion, water helps your digestive system break down foods. So if you think about it, if you put a load of food into a bowl of water, it's going to break down, it's going to become all bitty, and that's exactly what it's doing in your stomach. So if you drink water after your meals or with your meals, you're not going to have a load of food just sitting there like a lump in your stomach. You're feeling bloated, you're feeling sluggish. Water's going to help you digest that food. Also, for the girlies with stomach issues, it's going to make going to the toilet much easier and more regular. So if you're the kind of person who struggles with going to the toilet, maybe you're like quite backed up sometimes, you want to at least make sure that you're getting your water intake before you try anything else. And kind of along that same vein, in terms of weight loss, drinking the right amount of water a day will help you feel fuller. So if you're someone who snacks a lot, if you start drinking water, you'll find that you're feeling fuller, so you're not as peckish for a snack, therefore reducing your calorie intake and therefore helping you lose fat. If you're someone who drinks a lot of energy drinks or fizzy drinks like Coke, try and see in this 90 days if you can replace those drinks with water. Quite often you get drinks like Coke Zero and you think, oh, it's healthier because there are no calories in it. But actually these drinks are full of chemicals, they're bad for your teeth, and they're definitely not sustainable to be drinking in the long term. So try and see for this 90 days if you can replace your drinks with water and see what happens at the end of it. And another weight loss tip is that drinking water helps with detoxification. Like we talked earlier when we were talking about skin, water actually helps you lose weight because it removes the waste that your body doesn't need. So how are you going to get in your 2 liters of water per day? I know it's difficult. I don't really like the taste of water. I don't like how it feels like it's sloshing around sometimes. But it's important to drink it, and it's important to regulate how much you drink throughout the day. So what you want to do is drink your first liter of water within 2 hours of waking up. And that's because you've been asleep for hopefully about 8 hours. You haven't been drinking water within that time, so your body is so dehydrated. So you need to give it water as soon as you wake up. That will help you become hydrated again, be more alert, and it will stop you from snacking unnecessarily throughout the day. Then you want to drink the rest of your water throughout the day and make sure that you get in your recommended amount at least 2 hours before you go to bed, because you don't want to be waking up, getting interrupted sleep because you're going to the toilet. So the way that I get my 2 liters in per day is to always have a bottle on the go, preferably with markers so that you can track how much water you've drunk throughout the day. This can be in milliliters, or you can have one of those bottles that has like 10 a.m, 11 a.m, 12 p.m, so that you can track the amount that you've drunk literally throughout the day. You can also set reminders on your phone and use hydration apps. These are really good because, you know, we're always on our phones. If you get a notification pop up, you'll think, I need to go drink some water. If you really, really struggle with drinking water, there are some ways to make it a little bit more enjoyable. So you can actually add fruits and herbs like lemon, cucumber, mint. Some people add watermelon. There are just so many fruits and flavors that you can add to make it taste a little bit more lively. Or if you're more of a hot drink person, you can try drinking more herbal teas, and these will count towards your recommended water intake. So the second lifestyle change that we're going to make during this 90-day plan is to get better sleep. There are so many benefits to getting good sleep. And some things that you don't even realize, like it helps you maintain a healthy weight. It will help improve your heart health. It will lower your risk of chronic conditions like diabetes and stroke. Sleep is also really important for people who exercise frequently because it helps you repair your body and your muscles. And it also helps support your immune system. So you might notice that if you're getting really good sleep, you might be getting fewer colds, feeling a bit more energetic and less ill. So we were talking about holistic health earlier, and all of the lifestyle changes that are within this 90-day plan will help contribute to better sleep, and better sleep will benefit all other areas of this plan. But how do you get better sleep? The first thing you need to do is create a sleep-friendly environment. So in your bedroom, you want to create really dim lighting. So if you can, get one of those bedside lamps with a dimmer switch, so you can turn the lighting down low when you're ready to get to sleep. And definitely make sure to avoid any screens before bed. So what I would do is put your phone the other side of the room or in a different room. Or if you do feel like you can stop yourself from using phone, just put it face down on your bedside table and don't touch it in the hour or so before you go to bed. You also want to block any light out from outside, so use blackout curtains if you can. And also reduce noise where possible. So if you live on a busy street, try and sleep with your windows closed. I know that's really difficult in the summer. Try and use like a noiseless fan if you can. Or if you like to go to bed early when other people are still up, close your bedroom door so that no one is making noise, you know, downstairs or inside the house that will wake you up. You also want to keep your bedroom cool, so keep the windows open and the blinds or curtains closed during the day, and then shut the windows again at night when you want to get to sleep. In terms of what you can physically change for yourself, you definitely want to limit the amount of stimulants that you're intaking. So avoiding caffeine after the early afternoon. Caffeine can actually remain in your system for up to 10 hours after you've drunk it. So you might think that that cup of coffee isn't waking you up at like 3 p.m, but it'll keep you awake later that night. And also see blue light as a stimulant. So you want to reduce your exposure to blue light, which is the light that comes from any screens like your phone or tablet. You want to reduce that before you go to bed, because blue light will actually trick your brain into thinking that it's daytime, and this will mess up your circadian rhythm. You'll start feeling tired during the day and awake during the night. So what this 90-day plan will hopefully do is when it gets to 9-10 p.m. or whenever you want to go to bed, your body will start getting tired, like you're ready to go to sleep. And then in the mornings, your body will naturally start to wake up so you don't feel as groggy. But you need to help that along as well. So you need to establish a bedtime routine for yourself. So go to bed and wake up at the same time daily if you can. And this will help with regulating your circadian rhythm. If you need a wind down routine, so something that will really help you kind of get in the mood for bedtime, you can close down your apps and put your phone face down, away from easy reach, like I said, across the other side of the room. But definitely just stop using your phone like an hour before you actually want to go to sleep. You can also stretch for 5 minutes. After that, if you're kind of a beauty skincare girly, you can apply moisturizers and hair oils or masks to your hair and face. And then maybe read for 15 minutes or listen to a guided meditation, which will help you get to sleep. Our third lifestyle change for this 90-day plan is quitting or reducing alcohol intake. This year for me, my goal is no hangovers. Personally, I don't drink consistently, but when I do drink, like on a night out with friends, I would maybe drink too much and then regret it the next day, waste a whole day, and I just don't want to do that anymore. So saying to myself that I'm either going to quit or really, really reduce my alcohol intake is just important for me in the short and long term. Again, there are so many benefits to this. The physical and mental health benefits of reducing alcohol are better sleep, improved mood, and clearer thinking. If you do drink a lot of alcohol, obviously reducing your intake will help decrease your risk of chronic conditions like liver disease, and also mental health conditions like depression and anxiety. Now, I know here in the UK, we do have this kind of toxic culture of drinking. I know people personally who have lost friends because they've stopped drinking alcohol. But these are friends that you would only ever see on a night out. They wouldn't be there to help you when you're going through your toughest times. So are they really the friends that you want to have in your life? If you're worried about how stopping alcohol or reducing your alcohol intake will impact you socially, here are a few tips to address the social challenges. Number 1, practice saying no regularly and have an explanation ready to give, like, I'm focusing on my health, I don't want the hangover because I have important things that I need to do tomorrow, or I am just not interested in drinking alcohol anymore. You know, you don't have to justify it. This is a decision that you've made that is positive for you. It shouldn't matter how that looks to other people. I know that it can. We do worry about what other people think sometimes, especially when they're our friends. But you just have to remember that you're doing this for your own benefit. If you still want to be around people who are drinking and you think that you can resist drinking alcohol yourself, you can bring your own non-alcoholic options to events and gatherings, which is what I do. I love finding a really nice non-alcoholic drink to take somewhere, and most of the time people are really intrigued by it and they want to try it themselves. And if you want to keep putting in the effort with those relationships that you've gained from, you know, nights out or people who you only really see in situations where alcohol is present, you could suggest alcohol-free social activities like going on a coffee date or a brunch or fitness meetups. If you really care about these people and you want to keep them in your life, introduce them to other areas of your life. And you know, if they don't stick around, is that really your problem? You've got to remember that your well-being is the priority. So tips for quitting or reducing alcohol: try setting clear goals. For example, I'll only drink on special occasions, or I will only have 4 units of alcohol this week, or I won't drink for the entirety of January. For me, as I said, I won't have a hangover for the whole of this year. Whatever your goal is, it's up to you. You could also try replacing alcohol with alternatives like sparkling water, mocktails, kombucha, and also find ways to keep yourself motivated. I think of all of the Sundays that I'm going to get back never feeling nauseous or headachy because I've drunk too much, not eating like junk food on the night before, like cheesy chips and kebabs because I'm drunk. Those are my motivations. I'm picturing the healthier version of myself that I am without alcohol. So lifestyle change number 4, we've talked about reducing screen time, blue light and things like that, and this all feeds into taking digital detoxes. We live in a digital world, and I increasingly find that people are just disconnected from reality, from nature, from real life. All of these things impact your stress levels, your focus, your relationships, how you see yourself. So taking a digital detox can help combat that. Why is this important for physical well-being? Mainly we're talking about cortisol. So cortisol is a hormone, and when your cortisol levels are too high, it impacts your sleep. You can get things like brain fog, stress, you can get skin issues, digestive issues. We want to keep our cortisol levels regulated. And again, all of the things in this plan will feed into this. But digital detoxes are one way to directly address this, especially if you're the kind of person who maybe gets anxious or depressed from looking at social media or reading the news or anything digital related. So taking a digital detox can sometimes seem a bit daunting, especially if you're chronically online. Your phone can kind of seem like an extra limb. But you only have to start small, so try scheduling a no screen hour each day. That's really simple. It's 1 out of 24 hours of your day that you don't spend looking at a screen. And it can't be while you're sleeping. You have to be awake, you have to be interacting with and connecting with the world away from a screen. If you need your phone on you for emergencies, you could use things like focus mode, which is a feature I think on Android and hopefully on iPhone too, or you can use do not disturb. So if you're the kind of person who spends a lot of their free time scrolling through their phone or on a computer, you might be wondering what you're going to do with that no screen hour. And you really want to use that time to connect with the world and also with yourself. So you could try journaling. You could also try reading like a self-development book or fiction if that's what you're into, or even going for a walk. And also try spending time with family or friends without your phone. So I notice with some people I go out with, we'll sit down at a restaurant or in a coffee shop and they'll immediately take out their phone, start scrolling through it. They're not actually present in the conversation. We're not developing our relationship. Whereas other people will either put their phone face down on the table so that it's there in case they get an emergency call, or they'll just put it away in a pocket or in their handbag. Here's the plan within a plan for digital detoxing. So you want to gradually extend your detox times to build discipline. So in the first 30 days, you want to have a 1 hour detox in the morning just after you've woken up. Scrolling through news feeds, scrolling through social media just after you've woken up can increase anxiety levels, and that also makes cortisol spike, which we don't want. So when you wake up, just turn on your alarm and don't look at your phone for the first hour of your day. That is your digital detox for the day. In month 2, you want to have that first hour in the morning of a digital detox and also 1 hour before you go to bed. No phones. And then in month 3, 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour before bed, and then 2 hours in the evening. And use those 2 hours to really lock in to something that you want to develop. Whether that's working on your fitness, batch cooking your meals for the week, working on a personal project. Use the time that you would have spent scrolling for actually doing something good for you. Lifestyle change number 5 is walking. We're going to walk between 7 to 10k steps per day. I used to be so bad with walking. Around 3 years ago, before I really started caring about my well-being, before I started really exercising, I used to only walk probably maximum 400 to 500 steps a day. And that's because I used to work from home. So I used to walk from my bedroom to my computer, to the kitchen to get food, to the toilet, and that's about it. Now, 7k steps a day is my bare minimum. And all it takes is about a 45-minute to an hour's walk each day. And you don't have to do that all at once. You can break it up throughout your day. So like a morning walk, a lunchtime walk, an evening walk. Once you get into the rhythm of it, it is actually very easy to continue that. In my opinion, walking is so underrated. It improves your cardiovascular health, it improves your mood, and it's also low impact. So it's really great for those of you who have joint aches or problems, hypermobility, or or you just struggle with doing high impact exercises. Walking every day is also so important for your long-term physical and mental health. According to a study in 2022, a little under 10,000 steps per day can reduce your risk of dementia by 50%. And in the short term, walking also helps with sleep, stress reduction, and also fat loss. If you need some ideas to help hit your step goal per day, you can try going for short walks after meals or during your breaks. If you go after meals, it can also help reduce things like bloating. You could try, if you're going for like a day out, you could try parking further away from your destination if it is safe for you, or you could try taking the stairs instead of a lift. And what I like to do is use walking as a chance to learn. So listening to podcasts or audiobooks, but remember to always stay vigilant. So I usually just wear one earphone so I can hear everything that's going on around me. Also, what really helps is tracking your progress using like a Fitbit or a pedometer or a app on your phone. I use Strava. And it has really helped to look back at my progress, to look back at 3 years ago when I wasn't hitting any targets, to this year making a massive difference to my step count. So lifestyle change number 6 is along that same vein, and we're going to talk about exercising every day. This doesn't mean you have to tire yourself out every day, but at least doing 30 minutes of some kind of intentional movement will massively benefit your physical well-being. So it's actually recommended by medical experts to exercise every day. And I know it seems like a lot, especially if you barely exercise, but I truly believe that once you start getting into a rhythm and building a habit, it just gets easier and easier as time goes along. So if you want to be that kind of person who is really active and who sees a positive benefit from it, start now, because these 3 months are going to be crucial to help you build those habits and become the person that you want to be. Consistency is so important for building discipline, but not only that, actually seeing results. So whether that's if you want to lose weight, or if you want to be more active, or if you want to keep up with your kids, if you want to, feel less stiff when you wake up in the mornings, moving intentionally for a little bit every day will help you achieve those things. So some forms of exercising can be really boring. Personally, I'm a long distance runner and sometimes I just get bored out of my mind, but I continue to do it because I've built up the habit and I've built up discipline. But if you are worried about getting too bored, here's how you can mix it up. Try different movements every day. So you don't think, oh, I'm gonna do one thing every day for the next 90 days. Because unless you're the kind of person who is just disciplined already, there's a chance that you will get bored. So try different things like walking, stretching, yoga, resistance training, HIIT, dancing, whatever you feel like doing. Just give it a try for 30 minutes every day. And remember that it doesn't have to be super complicated. Something is better than nothing, even if it is just walking. So what are some tips for staying consistent? For me personally, I really had to shift my mindset around priorities. So I used to say things like, oh, going to the gym for an hour a day, I don't have time for that. When really I should have been saying, no, it's not my priority. I had to admit to myself that yes, I wanted to get fitter, I wanted to get healthier, I wanted to lose weight, but I had to admit that it just wasn't my priority. And my priority was sitting on the settee, watching TV, eating junk food, and being in my comfort zone. Now, I never say I haven't got time for that. And in addition, I am the person that prioritizes health, well-being, fitness. It is absolutely not my priority to sit on the couch and eat junk food. And that shift in mindset has really helped me stay consistent. Some other practical tips that you can use for consistency are scheduling workouts like appointments. So actually put them in your calendar, whether that's in your phone or a paper diary, and make it so it's like something that you can't miss. So if a friend asks you if you want to go to the pub, you can say, actually, no, I've got this workout scheduled and I can go after that. but this is my priority. This is my me time. It's my self-care. You can also join a class, like an exercise class. You can use an app, or you can find a workout buddy for accountability. So someone else you know who wants to improve their well-being, or they exercise regularly, and they can help you achieve your goals as well. And lastly, you also want to celebrate small wins in order to stay motivated. But again, we're also going to change our mindset around this. So let's say at the end of each month, you've completed 30 minutes of working out every day. You don't want to take a day off at the end of it. Instead, do your workout for that day, but also engage in some self-care. Maybe book a massage, have a cheat meal. Don't buy something new. You definitely don't need it. Instead, take that money that you would have spent, put it into savings, and we'll do another video on financial well-being too, or invest it back into your well-being. So maybe buy a class at a new Pilates studio that you've never been to before. Everything is about investment. We're investing in you. This whole winter arc is about investing in you. And the 7th lifestyle change that we're going to make is creating a meal plan and following a varied, balanced diet. So I'm not going to lie, unless you're the kind of person who is into healthy eating anyway, this is probably the hardest part of your winter arc. I mean, first of all, it's winter, so all we want to do is hibernate and eat comfort and junk food, but that's not going to help you hit your goals. It's not going to help you become the person that you want to be for the rest of your life. So why is a good diet important? First of all, they say that abs are made in the kitchen, and that is pretty much true. If you're looking to lose weight, lose fat, then the kitchen is really where you need to start. You can throw yourself into exercising, work out for 1, 2, 3 hours per day. But if all you're eating is junk and processed foods, then your body is really not going to make it easy for you to lose fat. But it's not just all about looks. It's not just all about the number that we see on the scales or what we see in the mirror. A healthy, balanced diet benefits your physical and mental well-being. What you're regularly putting into your body will impact you years down the line. So invest in your future health now, and you'll see benefits in the short and long term. So when we talk about diet, it's really important to eat a varied diet. I know that influencers will talk a lot about the importance of protein, and while protein is really important, you can't just eat protein all day long. You have to get vitamins in. Vitamins should be seen as equal to protein. So there are several ways that you can get your vitamins. The first one is through supplementation, so like little tablets, pills, powders, or you can get it through food, which is personally what I recommend. There is absolutely nothing better than food in terms of vitamin and nutrient intake. So while it might seem like when you buy like a green powder off of TikTok shop from an influencer that you really like, that might seem like, oh, I'm making an investment into my wellness, when actually you could be spending less and eating better foods, which is far more sustainable for the long term. It's better for you physically and it's better for you financially. So a lack of vitamin-rich foods can actually make you feel more tired, it can make you feel weaker, you can have difficulty concentrating, but there are also more serious conditions related to vitamin deficiency. One of the ones off the top of my head is osteoporosis. But as long as you're eating a varied diet, you shouldn't have to worry about these things until you're much older. And if you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, and you're making these investments into your health now, you will feel the benefits when you get older as well. So one of the things that I like to do is build a meal plan. So this helps me massively save time and money because I already know what I'm going to eat for the next week or two. So I only have to make 1 or 2 shopping trips. And it also reduces the amount of time that I have to sit there thinking, oh, what am I going to eat tonight? And planning out a whole new meal. So to build a sustainable meal plan, you want to base it on whole foods. So there are 4 areas of your diet that you really want to focus on building either within the day or within each meal. So firstly, we've got lean proteins. So that's white fish, chicken, turkey, cottage cheese, plain yogurt, tofu if you're vegan or vegetarian, or if you just like tofu. And then you've got your complex carbs. So you've got sweet potatoes, beans, lentils, chickpeas, brown rice, oats, fruits and nuts. And then you've got healthy fats. So I know fat can seem like a bad word, like we shouldn't be eating loads of fats, and that's true, but there are healthy fats. And these are things like oily fish, nuts again, seeds, avocado, eggs, and olive oil. And these will help with sustaining the energy that you need to keep on doing those 30 minutes of movement that you're doing per day. And finally, you want to eat plenty of vegetables. So I've heard a couple of my friends kind of say like, oh, I only eat 1 or 2 vegetables, and that's usually like carrots and courgettes, maybe a parsnip if they're having a roast. But if you're struggling to think of what you can eat, just go to your local supermarket or your local greengrocer and just have a look at what kind of produce is there. You'll probably come across so many vegetables that you just really didn't think about because you don't see them on a plate every day. But trying even 1 or 2 new vegetables out as part of your meal plan will just help you get in those vitamins and tick that box, so it just becomes something that you don't really have to think about. So the next thing that I want to say is you should avoid restriction if you can. So we talk a lot about bad foods and good foods. So try to change your mindset around that. No food is inherently good or bad, but there are some foods that we should have more of and some foods that we should have in moderation. So we should allow room for treats, but focus more on moderation rather than elimination. So it's not about restriction, it's about self-respect. You're respecting yourself when you're putting unprocessed or minimally processed, nutrient-rich foods inside your body. And thirdly, try and experiment with new recipes and flavors to try and keep your meal plans interesting. You can look on Pinterest or follow a few cooking accounts on Instagram, or even buying cookbooks just to feed your cooking and creativity, because I know it can just get boring eating the same thing day in, day out. And we want to reduce boredom because boredom is a barrier to consistency and motivation. So some tools to make it easier to achieve your diet goals. You can use apps or planners to organize your meals and your shopping lists. And you can also batch cook meals for the days when you know you're going to be busier and you'd get home late from work and you would usually reach for like a pot noodle or something like that. Instead, if you've got a free Sunday, you can batch cook several days in advance, or even longer if you've got a freezer. And then you can come home from a long day and just reach into the fridge and you've got a healthy meal there that will take 2 minutes to heat up in the microwave. You don't have to resort to eating unhealthy foods just because you don't want to spend time cooking them. So these habits are building blocks for long-term change rather than quick fixes. But 90 days is all you need to build these habits, build consistency, build discipline. And this time next year, you'll be looking at a completely different version of yourself in the mirror. What I will say though is that everyone's journey will look different. And the key is to stay consistent and to adapt where you need to. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed these tips and that they helped you. I read all of my comments, so comment down below if you are starting your winter arc, and I'll see you in my next video.